So for me, the production has to match the quality, and I can't sacrifice. We are focused on just building really high-end for everybody, right? Whether it's a 5,000 square foot yard. I mean, I did one that was 5,000 square feet, but it was a simple, awesome retaining wall, grass, trampoline, beautiful. And that's where we want to be, is high-end for everybody, and still do all the cool elements, fireplaces, fire patios, sit walls, and all these elements in there. That's the kind of stuff we love, is to bring everything together, And so the branding for Elevated Pines is, let's create awesome.
Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of the Cost of Doing Business podcast. I am out here in Utah. We're out here in town for our annual, or more than once a year, dev retreat. And when I'm in town, I like to look my friends up. So,
what's up, guys?
Trevor from Elevated Pines.
Yeah, that's me.
And we're gonna have
AKA landscape machine for all you people on Instagram. That's what I used to be,
Well, how about, why don't you just give us all a rundown of how you got started and what your business looks like today?
So, I've been in the industry since I was 9 years old.
Wow.
My dad actually was my dad's business since day one. So his company was LSL Alpine Enterprise.
Okay.
Landscape name, right?
Okay.
or an industrial name, whatever.
Yeah.
So he actually he's been in the industry for over 30 years, and he worked with my uncle. They had a partnership. They sort of split, and then he took and he's like, I want to teach my boys how to work, so I'm going to start my own company. So he started LSL Alpine Enterprise. And we started off as like a maintenance company with irrigation. So, because here's heavy in irrigation because we're a desert, right? And so we started heavy in that, and then he started getting more into landscaping and all the design build stuff. And then as I sort of went through high school, it was my job, and then I graduated, and then I just sort of stayed here, and then I got married, and then I was like, you know what? I probably should start seeing if this should be what I should do, right? And so I just head first into it, and I just started falling in love with landscaping, like just the build stuff.
So were you the one that was going from irrigation maintenance to landscaping? Was that kind of your charge?
Well, no, I mean, it was just everybody.
Okay.
My dad had the repair side, so he had the maintenance side on the irrigation stuff, but he still pushed along. And when we didn't have a design build project, we would do irrigation and stuff like that, do remodels, modifications, making people's grass greener by, switching things up and making it better head-to-head coverage. But he started getting the bigger things, and we started doing more of that, and I started getting more into equipment and the mini X's, and I just fell in love. I was just like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Because from day one, since I was a baby, tractor in this hand, just so it was awesome. And speeding up, we decided probably, I don't know, four or 5 years ago, I would buy his business. And as we started getting closer and closer and figuring out all the details on it, I decided, you know what, I don't know that I want to try and rebrand his company. So I started my company, and I'm buying all of his stuff.
Gosh.
So when I can afford it, I take it in. And so I have 2 of his trucks, one of his Mini X, and the trailers for all those. And I'm working on seeing if I can afford the skid steer this year. And I actually, on my own, I got a loan, and I went out and purchased the 8-ton excavator.
Okay.
I have steel wrists on all my machines, tilt rotators on all my machines.
So those are the yellow hoses, right?
Cut the podcast. No, just kidding. Yeah. Let's see. Where is he? No, we can't follow this guy. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's the Green Hose Gang, baby. We all know Sutton, Scheller. We got it, guys. That's funny. You would throw me. We can't. No, we can't go on the dark side. But so I've got tilt rotators on both my machines. The big one I bought by myself because we were doing a lot more bigger water features the past 3 years.
Okay.
And so, going on 3 years. So I bought that, and that just upgraded our production on water features and how we could do reach and heavier, lifting bigger boulders, doing bigger water features, and you know me, I just want to spend more money and I want a bigger machine.
Yep.
Because that's just the way it goes. So I bought, I'm buying that, and he actually works for me now, and he does all the book end of stuff, and he's actually my mentor as far as making sure as we're doing the business side of things, I'm making the right decisions here, or we're walking through things if I want to buy this, if we have this, you know what I'm saying? So that's okay. That's me. And
give me the picture, give me a rundown of like what your makeup is, like what percentage of water features versus patios.
Yeah, so it's I would say that's a hard one because it's just we do everything from start to finish.
It's like design, build, turnkey project.
Yeah, oh yeah. So we're talking, we do anything that has that's a 43,000 square foot landscape down to a 10,000.
So what's your bread and butter? Like this is the perfect job that we just crank out peak efficiency.
I am a stickler, and I am too in love with the process of things. So I would say the $50,000 to $100,000.
Okay.
Yeah, those would be, but the project we're on right now, which is a high-end one, I love it because there's so much that goes into it, and just the end product is just like, which we can still be profitable, but for me, it's like the bread and butter is probably at the 50 to 100 to get in, get it done, knock it out, and move on.
And how many people are in the team total?
I just lost one today.
Oh, that's not good.
That's okay. He was the guy that was holding us back. So he ended up leaving, going to a different state, but I got 2 guys with me right now, 2 Hispanic guys, and they are killer. They're awesome.
Plus your dad.
Well, yeah, plus my dad. I can't forget him.
Yeah. And so it's those two, you and your dad.
Yeah, those two. So there was actually 4 of us out in the field, me part-time, and then 3 full-time in the field. And then, so this coming year, I'm hoping to put another 2 more guys, or maybe 3, just depending on how our workload carries this year.
What's it like out here? Like if you need more guys, are they around? Or?
Yeah, so that's a tough thing. I'm a very, would just say an anal person. I'll just put it out there. I'm an anal person, but so for me, the production has to match the quality, right?
Yeah, and
I can't sacrifice.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's really tough, and I love training people. Actually, it's been more of a passion to me now. I've sort of stepped back in the micromanaging thing because you thought that's how you would get your production and your quality, but it's not. And I'm realizing that, so I'm stepping back a little bit and teaching from afar now. And it's been so awesome. And so I think that it's tough to find them, but here a lot of people are basing it off of how you treat them, And I've been really, this past year, 2023, been really focused on treating my guys in a way that they say, hey, come work here. This is awesome. This environment. This is where you should be, I
think that's really key because like at Tussie Landscaping, where I worked for a long time, that's where pretty much all the good employees came from.
Yeah.
It's like people brought their buddies, people brought their friends or somebody they knew. Like, come over here. This is good here.
Yeah, and I noticed, and that's interesting because watching the Tussie videos over the years, you see the same people.
Yeah.
The same people, and you're the only one that quit. You're the only.
Kicked me out. Oh. I was left in the street. I had to figure something else out.
Ben couldn't handle you telling him how to redo a waterfall. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's like, get him out of here, guys. I want to. No, that's funny. So I've never been a businessman up front. I'm a very honest, upfront person. I never thought about business. I've only thought about production and getting the job done and moving on, right? And so all this is like super crazy to kind of see how it all works in a way, I've obviously been a part of the business because I would help my dad estimate and this and that, but I've never sat back and watched the numbers, really close. And so it's been really awesome. And I came from another software. Am I allowed to say it?
Yeah. What
So I used an LMN before, and it's actually really similar in some of the, putting things in and how certain things work. But when you start digging into it, it's actually a lot different. The timekeeping is so much more fluid, easier to put things in. In
which one?
In SynkedUP.
Oh, okay.
And so for me, I've actually really enjoyed like learning that. I've screwed up like 20 timesheets the other day, just trying to get out of my head LMN and worked into SynkedUP. And so I was like, okay, I gotta watch this video again, watch it again. Okay, that actually is so much more simpler. Adding more tasks or changing time to tasks and switching tasks and going in is actually a lot faster, which I don't have to sit on my phone as much. Which is so cool. And then the biggest thing for me, honestly, one of the real biggest things for me switching over is being able to change order in the field.
From the mobile app.
Hands down, really awesome. Still learning, working through the app and the best way to.
And you just signed up, not even 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, man, you freaking gave everybody else a good deal at the freaking webinar.
You get a podcast.
This is what you meant. No, I told you all I wanted to do was see you.
Which was crazy because it's like 2 weeks later. I'm actually going to be you're right there.
You're right there. So I signed up. It's been maybe 2 weeks. I have another follow-up call with Kyle next week. I actually thought it was yesterday, and I left the job, and I got on the Zoom, and I was like, wait a second. I looked at the 4th and the 11th. I was like, because I have all these questions. But no, it's been actually really awesome. The fluidity of moving from this invoice, pushing it through QuickBooks, and then pushing it out. For me, it was like step, and you're there. Right. So it was really cool because, again, we were running from QuickBooks on desktop. And, again, I didn't work it, but there was some frustrations,
Yeah, desktop is kind of they're the old titan, the old dinosaur of the industry. But, obviously, they're not a cloud-based product. So it's very difficult. There's much less support from an integrations aspect.
Same with LMN. The customer support was tough. And that was like hard for my dad because it was like, hey, we can't get this figured out or whatever. But we also had to leave the job, go to the desktop, punch in new, change orders and that sort of stuff. And so again, talking with Scheller, called him the other day before I signed up, and I was like, dude, tell me, like, really, what is the difference? Like, because in the end, they look so similar.
Yeah, and to be fair, LMN has done a lot of good for the industry.
Oh yeah, no,
they had the first budgeting tool, or at least I think it was, and estimated all the same concepts, and they've done a lot of but then it's like you have to translate from concept to actually being able to use it on a daily basis.
Well, I'll say this: I stopped losing money when I changed to a software that was good. Meaning LMN's good software.
Yeah.
And so I stopped losing money. We started, saying, wow, this is actually, we're seeing this, and this, but on the back end of things, you had to really dig in to see some of your numbers. I love the fact that when you're pulling up your dashboard on that job, it's like,
in real time.
You don't have to dig up. You don't have to dig anything up, or figure out in QuickBooks where some of these things are, because they match so good.
Sure.
At least right now.
Yeah, let's keep it going, man.
At least right now, So our design build, we do, irrigation, planting, we do.
You still do maintenance?
No.
Okay.
So my dad kept his business and he does the maintenance. So we are focused on just building really high end for everybody, right? Whether it's a 5,000 square foot yard. I did one there was a total of 5,000 square feet, but it was a simple, awesome retaining wall, grass, trampoline, beautiful, right? And that's where we want to be, is high end for everybody, and still, do all the cool elements in that, fireplaces, fire patios, sit walls and water features. This big job that I have going right now that I've been posting here and there there's just all these elements in there that's the kind of stuff we love, is to bring everything together.
Yeah. And that's a real. Well, it really helps you give a beautiful client experience.
Yeah.
When a client is like, I want to have this awesome stuff, but I don't want to go hire a concrete guy and then a water guy. It's like you can do that whole turnkey thing. That really elevates it sets you apart from a client experience aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that going in the future is that's what I'm portraying from here, as a company image.
Yeah.
And so the branding for Elevated Pines is let's create awesome. You know,
nice.
Like
that's funny. At Tussie, we came up with build awesomeness.
Yeah,
as a hashtag.
Well, and it's tough sometimes to come up with these things because it's like there's so many words to come together, and it's like, blah, but it's like,
how do you give the idea or the vision?
Yeah, let's create awesomeness, because it's like I'm doing a project right now that we actually. The backyard's probably 60 to 70% done, and the house just barely hit 4-way.
Wow.
And we're just like, let's go. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with Utah, but they have a thing called Parade of Homes.
Okay.
And every year there's these builders that put these houses on show so people can see the builders' work and then potentially get more customers, right? So that's what it is. It's a Parade of Homes. So this is going to be seen by thousands of people.
And you got your work there?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
So we're able to. It's could be a high risk, high reward type situation where you have a deadline. May 20th is our deadline, right? And hopefully we finish by then so that people can see the full scale, and we don't have like unfinished things here.
I will say at Tussie, some of the best marketing we ever did was put in person, like physical displays in the ground with signage and brochures and stuff like that. Like that was really, because water features are a luxury item.
They are.
It's like, somebody might wake up one day and be like, I want a patio so we can sit out here with a picnic table and all that. Yeah. But unless you're an enthusiast or something, you don't really wake up and say, I want a water feature. Yeah. Until you see it, they're like, wow, that's awesome. Yeah. I want one. So that you kind of have to create your own demand, so to speak.
No, it is. And that's actually what I've been sort of like interested in, how I can market water features more, right? Is because I actually love doing it. I just put in a, 15,000 gallon pond end of October for a customer that I did another pond for him 3 years prior, and we had to rip it out and move it, which was a headache. Wow. But this pond actually turned out so much better, and they have a thing called Live Nativity where they do Jesus, and he has this farm that people walk through, and they have these real stable and the baby and the manger, and thousands of people looked at this water feature. Did
you have any signage in it?
I did not. I should have.
Oh, you're creating demand. Put it that way.
Yeah, I know. And they were like, "Well, who did this?" And word of mouth. And we actually, most of my dad's business was word of mouth. My dad's actually never marketed, never.
Well, let me ask you, what's been one of the biggest challenges you've experienced in your business?
High cost. As far as we're too expensive for certain people that want to use us. Okay.
And what have you done to overcome that?
We haven't changed.
Like it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean,
what about vetting? What about your vetting process?
So actually, this is a great point, and I'm sure we have to wrap up soon. But the toggling on and off of work areas, that's really awesome. To where we can actually vet it by doing that more.
So you give them options like A, B, C.
I mean, we give them options anyways.
Yeah.
But it's like, we have to sit down with them. We have to say, okay, this, and this, and I don't want this. But in the sense of SynkedUP, it's, I really want these things, but we can't afford that $100,000 project. Yeah. But click. Oh, it's at 75,000.
So it helps you close more deals.
Okay, I think that'll help us be able to vet that problem a little bit more. We haven't had a huge problem in people not using us because of our reputation.
Okay, so
but where there are people that that do that, that'll help us get more revenue because they can have an option to do this. Which in the end we still do it both ways, but it's like explaining to them instead of them seeing it and saying, I can actually control.
I can flip stuff on.
I can see this number change without having to do the math.
Yeah, and for people listening, just to make sure we're on the same page, like it's on the proposal. When you send the proposal, you have the optional line items, so you can flip things on and off. And instead of being like the back and forth, like what happens if I take this out? And so you go back and you rework it. Again, it's like they can just flip things on and off right there on their own.
Yeah, which is really cool, because I actually took this project that we're doing that I've pulled out of Element and sort of put into SynkedUP so we have some numbers in SynkedUp. sent it to my dad, and he was like, "Oh, this is awesome. This is cool." It's like, it's like, we don't want to do the planting this year. We pluck that off. That saves us 20. This saves us 10. And it's like, okay, I think that, sense, and actually people don't even realize it, that something like that can make a customer feel more wanted.
Yeah, or in control. Like
yeah.
They're not feeling sold to, they get to select.
Yep. Yeah. Which is like, they're selling themselves, right? Yeah. It's like, I want to buy this plant. I think I will. Okay, cool. So.
Well, I got one more question, then we'll wrap it up. I always like to ask, what's been the best advice you were ever given?
Wow. I'll just say this: I'm a fire-ready aim kind of person. So the best advice actually came from myself, and it was be present, listen, and relax. So in a sense, it's actually from my dad, it's just be patient, right? Things will come. You see these guys that have all this equipment on Instagram. You see
the tendency to compare.
Yeah, you're like, holy cow, Mulder, you're so rich. I'm talking to you, Andy. No, I'm just kidding. It's like, I want that. But you see these guys that are starting to buy all this new stuff, and then they're just going under, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I love buying things, but I've had to now that I'm running the business side of things, it's like, okay, I really see what's happening. I see where my dad's coming from. Which every parent wants to hear that, right? It's like, you're finally listening to me. It's like your mom and dad is like, told you so. Yeah, we know what we're talking about. I mean, we say that to our kids too, right? We know what we're talking about. So, but no, it's be patient, but be present, listen, and relax,
Enjoy the moment.
Well, yeah, because as you can tell, I'm like, let's go.
On to the next thing.
I'm on to the next thing. Let's go. Move. And I've really had to step back a little bit. But yeah, it's been really cool learning the business side of things more than I've ever had.
That's awesome.
And making the business choice to say, I want this software, and I want to learn what actually is the difference, right? And taking the leap to pay the annual, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, But it's been pretty cool, and I'm excited to start putting more numbers together and seeing more of the things, and feeling like I can, create a living for myself, but also I've been into this feeling of making sure my guys are taken care of, right?
And that takes planning, financial planning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, okay, where do we want to pay our guys? How much work do we want them to work so they kill themselves, or how much work do we want them to work so they can enjoy themselves?
Yeah.
Right. So that's a big.
And then charge appropriately, of course.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, where can people, I know I've been seeing your Instagram for a while, but where can people follow you and find out more about you?
Yeah, so you can check out my ghetto website at elevatedpines.com, or you can go to Instagram, elevated_pines on Instagram. And then Facebook, you can find me in some weird realm as Trevor Lott.
And then hashtag Yellow Hose Gang. Right?
Yeah, hashtag Yellow Hose. Wow.
I just love it. I think I don't really have a horse in the race. I know. If you're on the one side.
Well, Tussie's got him now. Tussie's got the Yellow Hose. What's his problem? No.
Well, I just want to say I super appreciate you letting us come in here.
Absolutely.
Quick and
this is cool. I mean, first podcast. I was telling Weston earlier that I've been watching him on Tussie videos on YouTube for I don't even know how long.
Well, we probably started doing those weekly in 2016.
Yeah, and that's when I really actually started damn, I want to build some water features.
That's awesome.
This is sick. We built water features here and there, but a year and a half ago, we built a 75-foot long one at 13 elevation, and then just 200 feet away, we did a 40-foot one next to the house, and now it's that's my staple. This is what we can do, guys.
Yeah.
And you'll have to come back in the summer.
Okay. We'll
because it's one of those things where that's one of my proudest moments is those water features.
That's awesome. Well,
But the crew kicked butt, and my dad kicks butt, so he's old.
It sounds like you have a good thing going.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
And I appreciate you, entrusting your your business really to SynkedUP and
Yeah.
the SynkedUP team. I mean, I don't take that lightly. That's a heavy, you got to get that right. You got to get that part of your business right. And so we don't take that lightly, and we appreciate the partnership, and can't wait to hopefully fuel and be a part of your success.
Yeah, I think one more thing too is this Instagram thing. I know it's all like flowers and butterflies because of all the cool stuff, but it's actually bringing a lot of people together in the industry.
There's a community growing.
I mean, I have more friends in the industry outside than I do inside. I mean, I have a lot. I try to make myself as friendly as I can.
Well, I know what you mean.
But these guys, I mean, being able to call Scheller and talk with him and whatever. But it's awesome. Nobody's shy to help, which is so cool. So, but I appreciate you guys and coming here, and it's been pretty cool.
Absolutely, man.
Awesome, dude.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks.